welcome back to the studio. Did you guys feel that? It was kind of like a bump or something. I don't know, maybe a rock somewhere on the rails.
Someone put a penny on the rail?
Yeah.
Those derailed trains, man. You got to be careful with that.
Well, currently it's just nothing more than slight shaking. So we'll see how it goes. There's still 2 matches for Rehart to kind of get back into this, and I think personally that this is going to go 2-3 matches. So we'll see how the next match goes.
It's very possible.
We'll get the stats here up on the screen. We heard bringing, like you said, a terrific, well-rounded setup, but just, I don't know, kind of got baited into maybe over-aggression from the Warlords.
The Hounds did enough damage across the field that they would have eventually broken that fleet, which was amazing. Basically, this Warlords team is a team that has double claymores and a curse and didn't actually have to use it to break the tanks of their enemies.
I mean, just look at the damage done on those Hounds. They're putting out an extreme amount of damage.
Yep.
Yeah. Hounds, all stealth bombers, really, really great tournament ships that we haven't seen used as much as probably they should be.
Yeah.
I think a lot of teams are probably holding back their good bomber setups. They do a lot of damage at very long range, especially if you rig them up right for it. And they're very small signature, so they're actually hard to kill from things like dummies. And you have the ability to drop bombs if you want to. So you can always use a bomb wave. 3 bombs is actually enough to really do a lot of damage to especially Tech 1 cruisers.
Yeah.
And you can kill off a lot of drones with it as well. They're very, very useful utility ships as well as dealing all that damage.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, so for me it was, so when Weird finally went in and they got tackle over there on the Hounds and on the Scimitar and so on. One of the Typhoon fleet issues was actually in half shields.
Yep.
And then the Claymore got neuted out, it seemed. So that was just kind of like Warlords counter jumping on them and getting the upper hand because they
Warlords realized that if they engaged them, that they left their backline open, and without that backline, the entire setup is not very good without the backlines of the Hounds and the Scimitar. But what they did was they said, all right, we're in this ball. We project damage better than you do. We have stronger reps than what you do with a logistics cruiser versus your double frigate logistics. You can try and come at us. We're going to neuter out anything that comes at us. Our entire backline is going to run away, and we're going to tar pit you with our claymores in the front.
Oh yeah, and definitely. As soon as you saw tackle going down, just like that newt symbol appeared next to a frigate for a little while, and then the tackle just
goes right
disappeared.
away. Yep.
So that was definitely great piloting by Warlords, and I don't think that surprises anyone. Warlords, as we've been talking about, a really, really solid team. And it's going to be interesting to see what Weehard does against such an experienced team that has such depth of setups that they've practiced immensely for a long time. If they can bring something that is able to properly trip Warlords, it's going to be tough. But
it's going to be very, very difficult. But if you've got some really good setups in reserve, then if you're not going to bring them against Warlords, then who are you going to bring them against?
Who did we hurt primary at the beginning of that match?
The Claymore, hard SP. Yeah,
it seems to me like it was not great. Like they should have shot the curse, especially if that curse doesn't know if it's going to be up against missiles. Maybe you have some tracking disruptors in the mids, not as strong a tank as anything else on the field, because the curse is really what carries that team.
Yep, killing the curse with just Foon missiles versus with a Scimitar repping it might be tough.
Yeah.
So another good choice would have been the Scimitar.
Yeah, I mean that's what we saw. They tried to go for the Scimitar. They got Web and Scram on it for a little while, and then that little newt symbol just appeared again.
That wasn't until after the Foon their first Foon was already dead, though.
No, that was while their first Foon was going down.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe not the greatest choice of primary there.
I mean, it's tough because you expect that you're going to have a lot of time with a setup like this. You're counting on your speed to extend the match, to allow you to pick away at something like logistics. Yeah. But against these Hounds, you're actually going to possibly even lose that DPS race, even at long range.
But all in all, a really fun, great match. Excellently flown by Warlords of the Deep. And we're going to turn our attentions to the next match, which is Thingy versus Colbass Inside.
I'm going to turn my attention to the red line on your forehead from that hat.
Yeah, so we do have the bans for the first Thingy Colbass match. Colbass has banned out the Basilisk and the Scimitar, doing the opposite of what they did, well, kind of the opposite of what they did last match, where they banned out the Guardian and Neros. Yeah. And Thingy banning out Dominic's and Ishtar.
Will Colbass banning out the opposite of what they did bring the opposite of what they brought before?
That is a good question.
I don't know. It's Kolbas. You never know, man.
I mean,
they're going to bring double Vargers. You can't even do it.
You can't do it. You're not allowed to bring double Vargers.
But they'll do it. They'll do it.
They might try, but CCP Gargant.
They'll bring a Varger and a Tempest.
Our very large tournament referee will not allow them.
So let's jump to Twitter for a little while and see what people are saying on the hashtag
Probably
NEO2.
a lot of very disappointed We Heard fans.
Do you know, I'm upset that nobody has brought a skin ship yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's still time for it. They don't provide any in-game advantage, so there's no, you don't get more performance out of a skin ship, but, you know, for the swag factor.
Yeah, there's swag points to be made.
Yeah, people are bringing Merlins when they could be bringing fancy Merlins.
That's true.
Fancy pants.
So here's the first one. Poseidon O. Viander says, seeing CCP Pro become more and more knowledgeable about PvP over the NEO2 has been awesome. That is true. I wasn't all that knowledgeable before we started this tournament, but I'm actually learning rapidly. So
we took him under his wing probably when we came.
Under his wing.
Or we took him under our wing probably like a long time ago, like right after we showed up, like a year and a half ago or something like that, when you were like a turbo scrub, and we introduced you to the concept of kiting.
And you took me under the wing and
mostly actually with CCP Rise and CCP Fozzy. I just picked a Raven and flew.
Me and CCP Rise have actually done a few roams out on TQ and had some fun. So I'm gonna jump over like a few of the fun matches, like the matches that people have been picking as their favorite. So I have here 2 votes for Raging Homo Sapiens versus Asina Thomas team, which was the one that featured the Magnificent Stratios. Then we got
the Magnificent Stratios.
Yes,
it is a glorious ship.
It is. Then it's the best of 3 matches between We Hurt and Kolbas inside. That was a really good series.
That was spectacular. In fact, the last match of that is probably my favorite match of this tournament, where we saw that the Varger, with great piloting, managed to outmaneuver the Geddons. Yeah.
So Asami Nevin Niral says, my favorite match is the one where ships exploded.
That's actually my favorite.
Yes. Those are great matches. I highly prefer them to the ones where ships don't explode.
The 50% of any match with Warlords of the Deep in it.
So I think we're mostly done with the votes currently here. So I'm actually gonna talk to the camera a little bit here and remind you that you should tweet us your favorite matches, and remember to include a link from YouTube to that match, so the people that follow you on Twitter or might see this in passing can go, I know what match they're talking about now after they watch it. So we're gonna pick one of you guys that does this out in random, and we're gonna hand you a collector's edition. I also wanted to use this opportunity to give a huge shout out to EVE University that just had their 10th birthday. So happy birthday, EVE University. A great organization that has helped a lot of pilots throughout their 10 years in service.
Yeah, I was actually a member of EVE University when I started the game. Yeah. Early on, I got involved with them. Back then, they actually had some Sov space out in Geminet, and I was with them right about the time that they managed to lose it all to Mercenary Coalition, who just kind of mercilessly stomped on us.
So yes, we're about 3 minutes out for this match.
Yeah.
How do you think? So you predicted that Warlords were going to take this last best of 3.
Yes.
And we were going to go down, and then we were going to. How do you think this best of 3 between Kolbas and Thingy is going to go? Do you think it's going to go to 3 matches? Do you think it's going to just be like a one-sided stomp, or?
I don't think it's going to be a one-sided stomp. I would actually predict it's probably going to go to 3 matches. I think I'm the opposite opinion of Mr. Dolan here, who thinks that the Kolbas inside guys are going to win it, right?
Yes.
I do believe Thingy's going to take this. Thingy has performed exceptionally well. And as we've seen, they do practice with Hydra, and they obviously are using each other's setups. So we don't know who came up with some of these setups that they've been using, but we just saw Thingy and Warlords both bring the same setup. I'm going to be very interested to see what Thingy is going to be bringing. And do you know who else is probably going to be very interested to see what Thingy is bringing?
We Hurt.
We Hurt.
Yes.
Because what we've seen so far is what Thingy just brought a setup, and then Warlords brought it again. So if you're We Hurt and you see what Thingy brings here, you have to be able to counter that, because Warlords might bring it next.
Maybe that's some hidden code that they're waiting for someone to discover. The fact that they're just going to bring what Thingy brings for the rest of the tournament.
I'm actually, you said you think it's going to be a close match. I'm in like bargaining mode. So I'm going to say it's a complete blowout for Kolbaz. They're going to 2-0 it. But I'll settle for Kolbaz winning 2-1 in the best.
Okay, you'll settle for that. Yeah, you'll accept that.
We'll cut the deal.
Okay.
Special prize for you, my friend.
If you don't get it, though, you'll just like flip the table.
Yeah.
This
is actually a super heavy table.
Yes, it would be difficult.
I think we would be like taped to the floor or something.
But yes, the match is ready. So let's get our predictions in for this match, CZP Fozzy.
For this match, I actually think that Thingy's going to take this one.
I'm going to go with Kolbaz inside.
I'm going to go with Kolbaz inside. Let's see how it goes.